It's Middle Eastern week and it's day 3 of this little 7-part mini-series focusing on the Afnan fragrance brand. Today is all about Afnan Supremacy Incense, which is a clone of a very popular and very expensive niche scent. But to find out which one and how accurate this is to the original, stay tuned to Mags Frags. Yes, hello again everybody, and thank you very much once again for tuning into this latest episode of Mags Frags. I'm Paul, and like I said in the intro, today is all about Afnan Supremacy Incense, which came out in 2020, so a fairly recent release, and it's described as an amber, woody, aromatic fragrance for men. It comes in a 100ml bottle size and in an eau de parfum concentration, and I got this one from an eBay shop and I paid £38.99 for it, which I found to be the cheapest at the time for this particular one, so it is a bit more on the pricier side than some of the older releases from this line. Yes, we're into the presentation, and the box is similar in design to the others that I've already covered and reviewed over the past couple of days, but this time we have a different colour scheme going on. We've got this like really cool navy blue to silver gradient, which I really like, and under these bright lights it has a really nice little sparkle to it. Again, on the front we've got the large Supremacy emblem and some small accents, which all come in like a raised finish. At the top is the Supremacy logo in a metallic chrome, and down at the bottom is the name of the house, the name of the flanker, and also the size and the concentration, which is all printed in black. On top of the lid, again, we've got the small Afnan logo, and at the bottom is all your usual product information, the barcode, and round the side is where you'll locate the batch code. Round the back, again, I haven't meant showing the back, but yeah, round the back we've got similar, we've got those little symbols again, and we've got a load of product information down at the bottom printed in black. The bottle again looks absolutely fantastic in this metallic finish with the blue to the silver gradient, but in my opinion it's the smartest looking one in this line. It actually looks totally opaque when you're holding it in your hand, but you can actually see the level of the juice if you hold the bottle up to the light. Again, there's the name of the fragrance and the name of the house on the front, along with this metal Supremacy emblem. There's the name of the fragrance at the bottom of the bottle, and also we've got a embossed into the cap, which you can maybe just pick out there. The cap is metal and it has a fair bit of weight to it, and it clicks into place quite snugly, but again, I always say this, I wouldn't risk picking it up by the cap. There's a chrome atomizer which delivers a pretty decent blast of juice, and it's quite fairly even, and just like all the others in the line, I think the overall presentation of this is absolutely excellent. Yes, so into the note breakdown, and this one opens up with notes of bergamot, herbal notes, spices and oregano. In the heart of the fragrance there's a popanax, amber and labdanum, and the base notes in this one are smoke, leather, patchouli and agar wood. Okay, so this is a very, very accurate copy of Interlude Man by Amouage. So right from the initial spray, you're going to be able to pick up on that Interlude Man scent DNA if you are familiar with how that one smells. It's an intense, dark, smoky scent that sits on a background of sweeter accords of amber, leather and oud. It's definitely complex, and some people are going to find this one challenging, especially in the opening where the blend of herbs, spices and the oregano combine to produce like a burnt ash kind of aroma, but there's also some spiciness in there, a little bit of a herbal quality, and even an instant hit of leathery sweetness from the base notes, and all of this is what you are going to pick up instantly, which is going to scramble your senses for a little while until your brain kind of decides whether to accept it or reject it. As it dries down, more of the sweetness comes through, and you get sort of a sweet incense accord, and the intensity of the opening settles down, and it just becomes a really intoxicating and very interesting scent. On the odd occasion, I can also pick up on something a little bit animalic and musky in the heart of the scent. And this may sound a little bit weird when I say this, but on one hand it's very, very dry and ashy, but on the other it's sweet and leathery, so it's constantly kind of conflicting with itself. It's a very daring, creative and artistic fragrance that takes a bit of getting used to at first, and you will need to be pretty deep into your fragrance journey and have an appreciation of niche fragrances to kind of even begin to enjoy this one. The original Interlude Man is a much loved fragrance with a bit of a cult following, and this is a ridiculously high quality, accurate representation of it. So if you want to experience the Blue Beast for yourself, but at a tenth of the price, then this is your guy. I'd say the best environment to wear this one would be the cooler months of the year, but I actually wore it yesterday on a warm sunny day in the UK. It was around about 22 degrees and it never really got too cloying. It's a dark, resinous, balsamic fragrance though, so for me it's more suitable to wear for nights out or maybe even formal occasions when you're really out to make a bold statement. It's certainly not a dumb reach fragrance that I'd just casually grab and spray on myself for a quick shopping trip down to the local Primark store, that's for sure. But like I said before, you will need to be a confident guy, maybe 25 years old and upwards, to really pull this off with some authenticity. It's about as masculine smelling as it gets, and it's got a really grown up, mature vibe about it. It's definitely a bad boy rock star type of scent, so maybe it might not be the most appropriate fragrance to wear as an office scent or as a first date night scent. Performance wise, this is definitely one of those fragrances where if you apply more than just a couple of sprays, you are going to be choking people out. It projects like a total monster and it just lasts all day. For the first hour, the projection is absolutely nuclear, and yesterday I applied just one spray to the back of my hand and I didn't stop getting really strong wafts for it for about 7 hours. It's relentless, and it only becomes like more of a skin scent round about the 10 hour mark, so this is definitely one that you need to go careful on the trigger with, and you'll definitely won't need to reapply this one if you wear it for a full day or a full night out. Yet if I was reviewing the original Interlude Man right now, the first thing that I would be saying is that it's about as far away from being blind buy worthy as you're ever likely to get, because it's a very expensive and also a very challenging fragrance. This, however, at under 40 quid is actually worth taking a punt on, and I can confidently say that it's remarkably similar to the original. I'm not a fan of saying in percentage terms how accurate a fragrance is compared to the original, but I can honestly say that if I smelled this in the air from someone walking past me, I'd never be able to tell that it wasn't Interlude Man that I was smelling. The quality is undeniable, but with that being said, this is probably my least favourite from the ones that I've already reviewed, and I personally find it a bit too dark and intense for my own personal taste. But don't take that as me saying that this is a bad fragrance in any way, because it's far from that. It's just that I'm not a fan of intense, smoky smelling fragrances in general. The performance is everything that you're ever going to need, and I love how the bottle looks, and the overall presentation of the product is absolutely fantastic. So if you are a fan of Interlude Man or incense fragrances in general, then I'm sure you'll be massively impressed with this one. Yes, so once again, that's about it for today's Scent of the Day. But don't forget, I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, with another one from the Supremacy lineup. So if you don't want to miss it, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can be notified when it goes live. Also, if you've enjoyed the content and found the video useful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel. It's also great to interact with you all down in the comments section, and I enjoy reading all about your own experiences and your opinions on all things fragrance. So if you own any of the Supremacy line, let me know what you think of them and your experiences with them. So until next time, thank you very much once again for tuning in. Stay safe, keep smelling fresh, and I'll see you tomorrow for another one. Bye bye for now.